also have over 10 members of SSS officials right inside the court. Why can't they allow at least some members of the legal team defense team to be in court? So they refuse to do that. And we are outside the court door trying to resolve these challenges. The court came in, knocked the door, then denied access to the court. Before we could speak to Dr. Robinson, the matter has been adjourned to 19th and 20th of January. I've not seen such travesty. I've not seen travesty of justice. We are just told. We are told that they were invited. The court invited our client and the DPP and the prosecutor to have a discussion with them, even when we are not there. Just like what happened on 26th of July, on 26th of June 2021, when he was taken to court without reference to us. And he was tried on that day without us being in court. It's the same thing repeatedly itself today. And it's unfortunately, we are within the courtroom. We are just outside the court door and we are locked outside. I've not seen such thing in my life. And there's no order from the court, substantial in court, stating that this trial will be called out in secret. No such order has been given. This is the height of privacy of justice. So today, and also the court, the last adjourned date, the court reviewed a guideline of persons who are visiting here. That guideline contained an order of court and was served on the DSS. That order was flattered by the DSS with impunity. And on the basis of that disobedience to that court order, we filed from 48 against the DSS to commit him to contempt. That application was supposed to come out today for hearing too, but we want to find the court. The court has a duty to protect the sanctity of his order. So we are in court today to also inform the court that the order he made and served on the DSS was flattered with impunity. It can't continue that manner. So today, we are not even allowed to come inside the court to address the court on this point. So what you are saying as legal team, there is a clear case of denial of fair hearing as concerns the parties of the Constitution. So we are going back home to strategize and take a further decision as to whether we can continue in this court or elsewhere. Because what we know is that this matter must be had and must have what? Expeditiously. Must have it totally. If the court is not willing, disposed to hear this case, he will excuse himself voluntarily from continuing with this hearing of this case. That's what I can have to say.
Yes, what I want to say is it's very clear this was the 5th time I had come from the United States as Nnamdi Kanu's international lawyer to try to meet and see him, where I was denied 5 times. It was very clear today that I was the one that caused them to lock everybody out of the courtroom. They did not want me in the courtroom. I'm here not to create an irritant. There are huge international law issues raised by the charges against Nnamdi Kanu, including the kidnapping, extraordinary rendition, punishing him without any trial or hearing, denying him access to his lawyers. These are all violations not only of the Nigerian Constitution, but international covenants to which Nigeria is a signatory. I am taking now the case to the international forum and tribunals. It's clear that the Nigerian tribunals are hopelessly compromised. It isn't even close to fair due process. And so I'll be going to the working group on arbitrary detention in Geneva, the International Criminal Court and International Court of Justice in The Hague, the U.S. Congress, to impose sanctions on Nigeria until it conforms to internationally recognized human rights to which Nigeria has already subscribed, to enforce its own constitution. I have seldom seen such open, notorious lawlessness. And I underscore, it is very clear. They signaled out me when I was the one who was approaching to enter the courtroom. They said, Mr. Fine, you can't go in. Everybody else was able to go in. For whatever reason, they put me on a blacklist, if you will, said no, they fear that if the law applies, Nnamdi Kanu goes free. And that is exactly what ought to happen because the law does require that he go free. And the international community now is obligated to put the sunshine on the Nigerian judiciary and ensure that if justice is not done, there will be a price to pay. The judge herself may be subject to prosecution before the International Criminal Court. Judges are not free from criminality. The Nazi judges that implemented the Holocaust decrees against the Jews, they were prosecuted at Nuremberg. And if the Nigerian judges follow suit, they similarly are going to risk prosecution.
Your name, sir? Your full name, sir?
My name is Bruce, B-R-U-C, Fine, F-E-I-N. I'm from Washington, D.C. This is the 5th time I've been here in the last several months.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let me address you. Esoteric trial cannot stand in this day and age. Lawyers and judges all belong to the same procession. And to this we say we want justice and nothing but justice. Nnamdi Kanu must go free. That's our submission.
That Nnamdi Kanu is entitled to 3 visitors every time they want to visit him. Now, Ohaneze sent the delegates. Religious leaders sent delegates, and some other persons sent delegates to go and see Nnamdi Kanu to see how this particular matter can be resolved. They refused the former governor of Anambra State, Chukwuemeka Ezeife, that was sent by Ohaneze. They refused him access. They refused Reverend Dr. William Okoye, the former chaplain of Aso Rock. He was chaplain for Aso Rock for 8 years. Sent by the Igbo religious leaders to go and visit Nnamdi Kanu. DSS refused him access because they feel that they are above the law. Now we came to court today. The prosecution, Minister of Justice, they are up to 8 lawyers inside court, and we are only 7. They said that the DSS said that it's only 5 that will enter inside court. You are the prosecution. You can't be a judge in your own case. We are outside trying to resolve it. They lock us outside. When we learned that the judge is inside, we wanted to go on. DSS lock us outside. And the judge adjourned the matter till 19th of January. Somebody that is not on bail. Somebody that is having health issues. So we feel that people have been saying that as a Fulani woman, Nnamdi Kanu will never get justice in her court. And she has confirmed it today. She has confirmed it today. I have never seen where. And after he adjourned the matter, she had a meeting with the prosecution, DSS, prosecution, and Nnamdi Kanu. What were they discussing? Are they forcing Nnamdi Kanu to plead guilty in an empty charge? This is the highest of injustice I've ever seen. And we are calling NJC to come into this matter. We are calling NBA to come into this matter. We are calling everybody to come into this matter. Because in a few years, Buhari will leave this country. Will leave as a president, another person will come. Nobody owns this country. I will not allow this country to be destroyed by anybody. I've never seen this kind of injustice. You said Nnamdi Kanu committed an offense. Come and prove it. Come and prove it. So that you convict him and he will be sentenced. He's not above the law. Why are you intimidating him? So that is our position.
Thank you,
I apologize. My name is Maxwell Opera. I'm one of the legal team of Nnamdi Kanu.
Thank you, sir.
In our position, Nnamdi Kanu, we are going to see Nnamdi Kanu on Thursday. I didn't say so. She should direct us what to do. And one of the things that we believe that we are going to do is that Honorable Justice Mitanyako should excuse herself from this matter because she has taken position. That is the position. I have never seen. Even if Nnamdi Kanu don't have a lawyer, the federal government, through Minister of Justice, are supposed to provide a lawyer for him. He's entitled to a legal practitioner of his choice. That's why we have Minister of Justice. That's why we have Legal Aid Council. What kind of injustice? Is it because he's an Igbo? And the court has even declared that agitation for self-determination is lawful in the case of Igbo. Then what are we talking about? You can agitate.
I will not speak on that as the spokesperson of the CUPP. But with what is already happening inside the court today, where the prosecution came in with 9 lawyers, and the lawyers that is defending Nnamdi Kanu have not been allowed to enter the court. They are screening, apart from the screening they did here earlier on. They have gotten inside there, made it look like they were allowed to enter, and are trying to tell them to reduce their lawyers. You saw the other one of the lawyers, the foreign lawyer, Mr. Bruce, was not even allowed to enter. The person the British government gave letter to represent him or observe the trial was not even allowed to enter. The question I'm asking about this Nnamdi Kanu trial, and my question is, what does Buhari want to achieve by this? What do I mean by that? The rules of fair trials is very simple. What are you hiding? If you feel a man have done something wrong, you try him publicly because you have your case. We're not going to have a repeat of what happened in Kenya. Have the journalists, any of the journalists, had the courage to ask the Attorney General, to ask President Muhammad Buhari, to proudly tell people what happened in Kenya? It was a rogue operation. But there will be justice on that. No, it's just 1 year and the government will go. How he was abducted in that car park, the kind of beating Nnamdi Kanu was given under that car park, where he was taken and nearly executed. Today, the Kenyan government said that they were not aware of it. Some officials of the Kenyan government, including the secret police, was part of the operation. And he was abducted and brought here. Yes, people will say it doesn't matter how a suspect is brought to court. No, it matters. Because this will remind us the kind of thing the prince of Saudi would do to Khashoggi in Turkey. The kind of things India Amin of Nkurunziza would do to people who oppose them in different countries. But there is one thing I want everybody to take home here. We are focusing on what is happening today. But we are not focusing on how we got to this particular point. Any messenger of truth, anybody who desires justice, like I do, will understand that the events of today we are all predicted. You saw the injustice, you saw the lopsidedness of actions that was taken by the president from the very moment he was sworn in, from the issue of 95% to 5%. The president carried on with divisive policies, which you know. Hate was promoted, divisions was promoted. And all the people who are complaining today, what did they say? When there was those killings in Nimbo, those ones in Okigwe, those ones in Delta, where people were killed and raped, what did you tell the president? What did you demand? All of you were here when we even asked for a change of the service chief for us to be able to bring proactive action. Was there anything that was done? No. Was there anything that was done? No. Now, at the time the Attorney General rushed, to God in heaven, we are facing the sky and proscribe the IPOB. Was there any killing? No. Was there any confusion? No. These actions were promoted by hate. That is why, with what is now already happening in court, where you don't allow the lawyers of the defense, the people they want to defend them, to go in, when the court will give order that 3-4 people can visit him and they get to DSS and they are screened down and they cannot enter. When our respected traditional rulers will sit under the sun, and they will not be allowed to enter a court for a trial that is supposed to be open, free and fair, I begin to ask myself, can there be justice that will come out of this charade? No. Starting from the refusal of the president to address the insecurity and the killings that was ravaging the East then, going by his decision to also, more importantly, even after the arrest of Nnamdi, can I ask you all one question? What effort have the government done in trying to address those grievances that raised to the rise of those agitation? If a man is honest and he truly desires peace for his people, what will he have done? You would have started the process of peace building, reaching out to people and building confidence. But he doesn't care. He just wants to keep him, and then you want to try him. Why do we need to try him at Federal High Court? He should take him to Daura and try him. Let's know where he's trying him. Because you can't call this a Federal High Court of the Republic, and a citizen is accused of an offense, and you cannot even allow him to have a fair trial. Neither do you obey the orders of court. And that is why my message is very simple. The president should take the path of peace and negotiation. Let's find an end to this. Let us find an end to this, which is granting bail, moving from DSS to police custody, and granting bail and pursue the path of peace, reconciliation, and negotiation. This trial, to me, to God who made me, was unnecessary, was avoidable, and this trial is baseless. And it is in the interest of peace and unity and stability that this trial of Nnamdi can be discontinued. And I say this as a messenger of truth, one who always pursues and desires truth. After all, you people were here when the DSS charged me for treason of trying to overthrow the government. Did I overthrow the government? No. Did I? No. Did it change my views on issues? No. No, because if you believe in truth and justice, it does not matter how many times you are tried or how many times you are arrested. You always pursue truth. And all I'm saying, and I want media to follow to ask this issue, that if after the arrest there is agitations by citizens who have right to agitate self-defense, have you made any effort to address the imbalance in the country? No. Have you even made any effort to implement the report on restructuring by his party? Not at all. So you can see that this trial is not about the good of anybody. To me, it's hate. And it's about denying a man, trying a man at his back. From the way he was even abducted. Ask yourself, why has the government not boldly told you how he was brought here? When Obama or whatever went to kill Osama, you saw the footage of what happened. So if you say what you did there, you are proud of it, say it now, because it was a rogue oppression. But that will be an issue for another day. What I'm saying is that there is no fair trial procedure going on. And that is why I came here. The other day I came, they will not allow me to enter. I said, do I look like a terrorist? I'm going to bomb the court. Our traditional rulers are under the sun. Look at Ezigbo, all of them sitting right there. Look at our former governor, Chukwemeka, sitting right under the sun. They are humiliating our people. And they are making us feel we are not wanted. And that is why I said, let the president open the court and allow Nigerians to witness these proceedings. Of course. And if I were to advise, discontinue this trial, grant him bail, and take the path of peace, negotiation, and reconciliation. That is the easy part. Instead of wasting so much resources, I was coming here, I saw Navy, I saw Air Force, I saw all security agencies all over the place. We need these men in the field to help us quell rising insecurity in the country. There is a lot of challenges that needs to be addressed. And if you try a man without giving him justice and fairness, that trial is nonsense. So I am here to say that this ongoing trial and the denial of access to justice is unfair, and that has made this trial a charade. And I know, and I plead with Justice Murtala Nyako, you don't continue a proceedings if your orders are not obeyed. If you believe as an agent of justice that your orders are not obeyed, you suspend this. You stop it for now. Because the other day they gave the order, you saw what happened. They were not allowed. They nominated Ezigbo to go there. He did not go. Now today again he came with, okay, look at as old as Ezigbo is and Ezife. Are they going to attack the court? Are they going to do anything? They will not now. So why all this? This is unnecessary, and that is why I said it's very painful. I'm not going to force my way through, but I want the whole world to know that this trial is not a trial. This is like a family gathering. It's not a trial. It's true. Are you getting me? Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So my name is Ikenga Imo Ugochinyere. I'm the spokesperson of the opposition coalition, and also I want to say this, and that is why on our own part we have taken this matter to international community. How did you in the first place sneaked into Kenya, adopted a man with rogue organization, people who are semi-terrorists, nearly killed him in Kenya, smuggled him into Nigeria, and then you want people to overlook that aspect? Is this the first time this is happening? No. In 1984, what happened to Maruduko when he was put in a crane in London? Are we going to turn our country into a rogue nation? No. And then what he went to, how did he have heart attack? Was he not when the people who adopted him in Kenya turned the generator on his face that he had that heart attack? Does he used to have that medical history before? No. So when you do all these things and then you don't apply the same energy to the bandits and the killer herdsmen that is ravaging our farmland, you don't use the same method to go to Niger to adopt them or go to the forest to adopt them, and you adopt this man and you want me to believe that you want to try this man and fail. I will be a fool to believe that. This trial is baseless to me. As long as I'm concerned, discontinue this trial, pursue the path of peace and reconciliation, address these grievances. These grievances, are they not supposed to be addressed? Lopsidedness in all actions, issues of fiscal federalism. If these issues were addressed, will Nnamdi Kanu have had more people listening to his message? No. It was because you refused to address those issues. That was why at the time he spoke, when most of our Eastern brothers refused to speak for our people, that his message had a solid belief by people. Yes. So the key to addressing these issues is to give him bail, is to ensure that you go back to the table with everybody and then find a common ground so that we can renegotiate and find a way to live or not to live. It's very simple. And this is issues of fundamental human rights, right to self-defense and so on and so forth. Or were they happy when those things were happening in the forest? And when you do this down in the east, you don't use the same energy up in the north. Nobody is slave to anybody. And there's one message I want you to take home. Most people who have dictatorial tendencies, whether in Nigeria or over the world, refuse to learn from history. Nobody has ever won this war of dictatorship. If not, Hitler would have won it. Idi Amin would have won it. Nkurunziza of Burundi would have won it. What they call him, the one from Zaire, Congo, Mobutu Sese Seko would have won it. So nobody wins it because it is unfair, it is injustice. It doesn't survive, it doesn't last forever. So I am here today and I'm appealing to them, if for anything, allow people to even access the court. Allow our traditional rulers to access the court. Allow the lawyers to access the court. Attorney General cannot come with 9 lawyers and their people, and then you want to screen down those lawyers. Okay, why are they hiding that they don't want the white man to enter? The one Mr. Bruce from the US and the one the British government sent. Is there anything fishy about this thing? There's no place in the world people are trying to write this. So this is unfair, and all I'm asking as a messenger of truth is justice in this trial process if it must go on. If not, this thing is going to produce an already known outcome.